Hey everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And for today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the brand new DC Comics Designer Series 7-inch Greg Capullo Wonder Woman figure from DC Collectibles. Now this figure comes packaged in the same style packaging we see with all the Designer Series figures. You've got the window box with the figure clearly displayed. We have white and blue highlights on the packaging for this one, and then the name of the character, and it tells us this is figure number 15 off to the side. On the side of the packaging, we have some artwork from Greg Capullo of Wonder Woman, and then on the back of the packaging we see all 4 figures in this wave. Down below it tells us that the figures were sculpted by Jonathan Matthews. Alright, let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside of the packaging. Now the figure does come with an accessory. It comes with a sword, and you've got this little sheath that's attached to the leg. It's glued on the leg, but you can remove the sword from it. And the sword is done with just a metallic silver paint. There's not a lot of detail. You've got a little bit of line work on the handle, but again, not a lot of detail on this sword. And the sword is in the sheath when you take it out of the packaging. She can hold the sword in her right hand. The left hand is open, so you can't get it in there. The plastic is pretty hard on these hands, so getting the fingers pried open is kind of a chore. You might want to take a blow dryer or something to loosen it up a little bit, but you can squeeze the sword in there, and she does hold it nice and tight. Now the other accessory that she comes with is her lasso, and this is done with a gold metallic string. It is actual string, and it's actually tied. I don't want to untie it. If you untied it, you could remove it. It's just in this little loop that's on her waist here, but I'm not going to do that because I would never be able to get it back on. But technically, if you wanted to, you could remove the lasso from her side. So for the figure itself, I have to be honest and say that I'm not terribly fond of the look of this figure, and it's not really the figure's fault per se. I don't really like the artwork that this figure, I believe, is based on. I believe this is based on how she appears in the Endgame storyline where she fights Batman in the Justice Buster armor, and I just think she looks a little too kind of butch or bulky. I don't know. I just don't really like the look of Wonder Woman in that storyline, and it doesn't translate very well in the figure either. So the head sculpt, I think they've done a pretty good job of capturing the Greg Capullo look from the Endgame storyline. The eyes are very blue, and she's got a very bright red lipstick. Skin tone is decent. I wouldn't say it's great, but it's not terrible either. She's got the eyebrows and then a metallic silver with the red star on her headband. Her hair is black, and it's done with a very soft rubber type material, so it doesn't really limit the head movement too much. She's got this W around her neck, and I've got to say that this has got to be probably very uncomfortable. I don't know why she'd wear something like that. I got to think, especially if it's metal, it would be pretty uncomfortable. But anyway, and then for her outfit, she's got the red, she's got the metallic silver trim with the line work, very true to the New 52 look. She's got the stars on her blue portion around her hips. She's got the lasso, as I talked about before, and the sword sheath with the removable sword, and then she's got the boots, the dark blue boots with the white striping. I do have a little bit of sloppiness with paint here. You can see a little bit of blue from her outfit coming onto the skin, but nothing too major. So the figure stands almost 7 inches exactly. Here she is next to the Greg Capullo Batman figure, and you can see she is a little bit taller than Batman. And finally, here's a comparison with the Mattel Multiverse 6-inch scale Justice Buster Collect and Connect figure. Articulation is not that good on this figure. You can turn the head to the left and to the right, and as I mentioned, the hair is soft, so it doesn't really limit the movement that much. She has a little bit of back and forth movement, and you can kind of pivot to the left and the right a little bit, but not a whole lot. Arms attached with your standard ball hinge joint at the shoulder, so she can get her arm out good, and she's got good rotation. She does not have a bicep swivel, does not have a swivel at the elbow, only has a single hinged elbow, so can bend her elbow about that much, has swivels on the wrist, but no hinges on the hands. There's no midsection articulation, no waist swivel. You can only do the legs forward and backwards, but you can't do the splits with this figure. Has a thigh swivel on the left leg, but not on the right leg. Then has a single hinged knee, so can bend her knee about that much. Does not have swivels on the knee. Does have a boot cuff swivel, and no ankle articulation at all, and no peg holes on the bottom of the feet. Okay, so that's my review. So overall, I would have to say I'm not terribly fond of this figure. I don't really like the overall look of it. and I don't really fault the figure in its own right for that. I just don't like the artwork it's based on. I like Greg Capullo's artwork in general, but just was not fond of his take of Wonder Woman in that Endgame storyline, and I don't think it translates well with this figure. Also, the articulation is pretty bad on this figure, so you really can't do much with it. You can't really get it in any cool poses or anything. Now this figure, along with the rest of the wave, has started to hit comic and specialty shops. We'll have a full image gallery up at toynewseye.com. There'll be a link in the video description below. As always, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. Also, if you haven't already, please follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. I'll have links to those in the video description below. And until next time, I'll catch you later.